Let's begin with a question. What are the ingredients in a great team? Perhaps the easiest way to come up with the answer is to think back to the great teams you've been part of. Perhaps as far back as grade school, a sports team, debate team, community service organization, perhaps a school yearbook or a newspaper. Chances are your list would include some of the items listed here. Mutual support, respect, caring, fun, a can-do attitude, fairness, teaching and learning from one another, celebrating accomplishments together, a clear-cut goal, good leadership, and the list could go on and on. What's important is to hold this ideal image in your mind as to what you and all your co-workers should aspire to. A key ingredient in forging great teams is the ability to appreciate people's differences. For an organization to be successful, it requires diverse contributions. This rubs up against one of the basic elements of life. People tend to like, value, and hang out with people similar to themselves. While you might be able to do this in your personal life, it's just not possible in the working world. Your experiences at work can become less contentious and even enriched if you spend some time trying to better understand and relate with others. There are many ways to explain differences in people. Obviously, their upbringing, their values and beliefs. Current situations play a major role. For this session, I'll concentrate on the differences in personality forged by temperament. I'll be referring to the power source profile and the preferences people have for how they like to gather information about their world by primarily using either grounding or creative energy, and how they prefer to interpret information, either with logic or relationship energy. For those new to the system, here's a quick summary of the 4 different energies. People who are naturally high in grounding energy tend to be predictable, practical, and realistic. They prefer to get information from their senses. They want to carefully observe, listen, and touch before going forward. They like to do one thing at a time, finish it up before moving on to the next task. By nature, they're detail-oriented, and their focus is in the present moment. They know how long it takes to complete a task. By contrast, people naturally high in creative energy gather information primarily from their intuition. They have hunches, flashes of insight. They remain open and excited by new ideas, frequently juggling many of them. They enjoy change and the stimulation of multiple inputs. They'll often ask, why not? And they like to go against convention. Now, people who prefer to process information with logic tend to be objective, quantitative. They think sequentially, with emphasis on cause and effect. They excel at creating plans. By nature, they tend to be in the historical past quantitatively. In other words, it's natural for them to compare their financial performance this quarter with how they did last quarter. Those who process input primarily with relationship energy are sensitive to their own feelings. But more importantly, their decision-making really takes into account others' feelings and how they will react. They tend to be considerate people, and time takes on a circular quality for them. They're attuned to the seasons. They remember people's birthdays and special events. With this framework in mind, consider, how might you categorize your children, your close friends, or family members? You'll probably find that you get along best with energy types similar to your own. Now, to forge more positive relationships at work, you want to try to speak the language of the different types. For grounding people, emphasize concrete steps, physical organization, and realistic timelines. Allow creative types room to share new ideas. Praise them for innovation. Approach logic types logically by organizing and sequencing your dialogue. When dealing with high relationship types, recognize the emotional impact that your actions have on them. Make certain to make eye contact. Listen well and be sensitive to their feelings. Recognize that it takes all the energies to field a great team. Creativity for new ideas, logic to organize efforts, grounding for getting the work done, and relationship energy to knit the team together. Great teams never stop learning and growing. They take time to let each other know they're appreciated. They recognize and appreciate these individual differences. And in the best organizations, this creates an environment of trust, mutual respect, and ultimately, excellence in product and service delivery.